The book of Proverbs, verse 29. The Lord is far from the wicked, but he hears the prayer of the righteous. So, hi everybody, this is Philip from Christian Connoisseur. So, for today's video, I was going to talk about Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. And I'll give some of my thoughts about it. It's kind of like a lot of the stuff I make, it's kind of like a review, but also I just kind of give some of my thoughts about it. I'll try to put some kind of like a Christian spin on it too. So for my background footage, I kind of like rebuilt a standard brawl with Denethia, and she's like some kind of like a knight, and it's a cool deck. I've been working on some new decks. I mean, I mostly just play standard brawl. I do some like limited every once in a while. So I think I have like 25 decks. So okay. So, for Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, okay, so I'll be honest, I have not actually played the game myself yet, but a lot of the channel is I watch content too, so I have not finished seeing the whole story, so I'm only about like maybe 30% of the way through the game. I just wanted to talk about it, right? So I beat the first game like 3 times. So the Kingdom Come Deliverance is one of my favorite series. So I just want to talk about the new game a little bit, some different Christian perspectives I've seen. I might at some point when I finish the series, I might make a second video about it. But for now, so, oh yeah, I'm gonna try to keep the spoilers pretty light, especially for a story like this one, right? It's a very heavy storytelling game, so. But some of the basic premise of the story in the world, though. So there's Henry. Henry's back again for a second time. And then there's also Sir Hans Capon. And basically they're continuing on from the epilogue from KCD1. So they're out in the new country, in the new land. And they're on a mission, like a royal mission. So some of the basics from the last game is Henry is accompanying Hans Capon because basically Capon is on like a journey of age. He's becoming an adult, and he's gonna become like the Lord of the Realm. So he has to get like just kind of like sworn in, and he needs his like royal signature, basically, or a little stamp, a badge, to become the ruler of the entire little realm that they live in. So we have to go through like the legal process works and stuff, but it hasn't fully happened yet. So now they're trying to go out and kind of get it done after his father passed away. So they're on like this journey together. I mean, really the story is about Henry, not about Capon, but the main story does have a lot of Hans Capon in it too. Okay, so the basic premise of the world is, okay, so there's going to be some light spoilers at the beginning here. It's kind of just the inevitable at this point, at least to start the video out with. So okay, so I'll probably go through some of the beginning area. So Henry and Capon are traveling with some of their companions, and basically, if the world's kind of getting set up, they're asking you some questions about morality or what you think about stuff, getting you some basic skill increases and stuff, as with tradition from the first game. And the world, they're kind of setting up the world a little bit, building up some lore. And you meet this rival faction, and basically you're relaxing, life is good, right? Like, you're comfortable, you're happy, they're eating and drinking, everything's all good, and they're enjoying themselves. And then basically Henry and Capon, they decide they're gonna, like, I don't know, like, get down into like their underwear or or not wear any clothes or something, and they're gonna go sneak out and like try to spy on some different women or something, and like kind of like being kind of like a little bit like perverts about it. But no, it's just, it is what it is, right? And they're going out and they're like sneaking out, and basically this like enemy captain comes in with his troops, and they basically okay, there's a lot more of the story, but basically they just kill like everybody. And Henry does like an honorable act where he saves this woman from basically being like, taken advantage of for some soldiers, and she gets away. Basically they kill everybody. They kill all of his your comrades and your allies, and they kill a bunch of the other people around too. All the women that were like bathing or they're hanging out there, like everybody ends up dying. But because the two characters were sneaking away, and that one girl got away, basically they got to live. So it's kind of like some dumb luck, but maybe it's like maybe like some kind of like divine favor also. So this is kind of like the basic premise of how the story sets up, and I mean, obviously there's a lot more to this story. I mean, I don't want to go into, like, this is just some of the beginning of the game, right? And like Henry and Capon. Oh yeah, also Henry gets wounded, so he's pretty seriously wounded, and he has to be taken care of. And Henry and Capon, they're both injured, and they're basically wearing nothing, and some very kind old lady takes them in, and they heal their wounds, and they kind of get you basically back on your feet a little bit. And then Henry and Capon have like a bit of an argument or a fight about some kind of like some stupid crap or whatever, and they kind of split up temporarily. And it sets up to like an epic world adventure. This is kind of like the tutorial area, right? I'm not going too heavy into the story, but it's like the good setup though. So that's like the basic premise of the world. Okay, so some of my opinions about this. Okay, so I do really like the game. I think some of the things are, it kind of feels like a similar game to the first one. It's like a new story, upgraded mechanics, and it's like an upgraded, nicer, more polished version of the first one with brand new stuff in it, but kind of the same thing as the first game, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it's like, it doesn't really, I don't know, it's not really like a negative thing. It's not just like a drag on the game, but it's kind of just like a prettier, more polished version of the first game with some new stuff to do. And they added some fixes and stuff, and the game runs a lot smoother. So some people are very happy about that, and some people, I don't know, some people might not be as happy. I don't really know what else to really expect though at the same time. I feel like overall I'm pretty happy with that. I mean, there's like the video game Elix 1, and then like they made an Elix 2. And it's kind of like a continuation of the main story. It's like, I mean, it's like, at the end of the day, I don't know how much more anyone would really want other than that anyways. They just want a better version of the same thing they can play again. So there's that. It has a lot of simulation aspects. It's like a very open world sandbox in a sense. And so, okay, so some of my opinion is, honestly, as much as I like the game having like an infinite number of like kind of real world aspects to it, I also feel like so here's like, again, like, so some of my opinion, right? You could just honestly go out and just do all that stuff in the real world like yourself too, right? Like the pros, like the fun things about video games and like the cons, right, is playing Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. It feels like a real life simulator in a lot of ways, kind of set in the medieval times. But like the truth is that all the things you could do in Kingdom Come Deliverance, you could just like literally go outside and just live your life and just do all those things yourself. Like you could be like, okay, so this is not, it's not like me dragging on the game. This is just kind of like, sometimes like a reality check for myself. That I could just go outside and go for a walk, and I could just like, sometimes jogging is a little bit morally gray. Maybe it's kind of bad for your legs, but like you could go out and go for a walk, or you could do a little jog, or you could work out or something. You could be gaining experience in the real world, or you could spend like 10 hours in front of a computer screen and just have your character level up, or you could just level up yourself in the real world. And like all of the skills and the abilities, as much fun as it is, again, like you could just go out and do that stuff in the real world. Like you could socialize, you could talk to people, you could interact with other people in the real world. You can go out and have some fun, go watch a movie, play some not play like video games, play some card games, you go to like a Costco, walk around, talk to people, you can go, all this stuff, right? Go to the mall, I don't know, a whole bunch of stuff you could do. You could just be gaining experience points in the real world. So, and that's a testament to how great the game is. Same thing with like Red Dead Redemption 2 or something, right? Like as amazing as some of these games are. Also, like you could just do that stuff in the real world too. And then get like literal, like tangible things in the real world. You could just like role play as an actual person. But I just got curb stomped by this bat duck. Okay, so that oh, by the way, I know this is a little side rant. That 5-mana sorcery, that white Bloomburrow card, apparently it's like really OP. I didn't know when you could bring it back. It comes back with an indestructibility counter. It's really good. Okay, so those are some of my things. Now this is a very big pro and a very big con depending on who you talk to. It's a massive sandbox, massive simulation. I'm pretty happy with it, but like I feel like I just like sometimes I think to myself, I could just be going out to my gym, I have a little home gym, and I could just be doing a bunch of like arm curls and sit-ups, and I could do some like exercise bike, or I can go for a walk, and like I could be working out and I could be pushing myself out there, right? And I could like make myself look more attractive and stuff too, or I could spend 10, 50, 100 hours playing this game. So it's like my pros and cons, right? Now some people want to just waste their life away playing a video game, which is it's their life, right? Okay. So again, I would say the game overall, I feel like it has a really long story and tons of crap to do, and a lot of the stuff is very fun. They added like a forge. You can basically you can make weapons and armor or something yourself. And they added, I think you have like basically like a crossbow. I think at one point you have the ability to like swim, and they upgraded the systems dramatically, and it's way better, right? And there's a whole bunch of other stuff too, and like they made the inventory systems, and like everything runs smoother, and it plays faster. So it's overall just a better game. And I would say, okay, so to be honest, I would say that I would definitely say this is definitely a game I would buy, right? I would argue, especially if you can get this game on sale, because this game has been out for a while at this point. If you got the game on like 50% off, it's definitely like a great deal. Like this is a great investment. This is a long-term great investment. So I definitely think this is it's definitely the kind of game that's like worth it of your investments. So because it's just tons of great content to do. And honestly, also you could just watch it on YouTube also, because like when you have like a 50-hour long story or game, there's nothing wrong, in my opinion, just watching a YouTube video walkthrough of it too. Like I love watching game movies. I love hanging out on live streams. There's a whole bunch of people I like watching for their live streams. So definitely I would recommend. You should play the game if you want to play it, but also you could just watch someone's walkthrough of it. What are some of the names again? So I watched that guy here. Be happy, right? Yeah, why don't I just tell you a couple people's names. So there's that guy called, I think it's called Easy Storytelling. You can go watch him. I mean, someone I like for watching a live stream. What was the other guy called? Arctic Owl NJM. I got like 200. I got like 500 different people I'm subscribed to. It's just on my main channel, right? And there's also like like gaming. gamers' little playground. And there's like, I'm sure there's like 10 other people out there. Maybe it's like, there's nothing wrong with going on and watching a video of someone's walkthrough of the series, right? Because, there's tons of cool crap out there. And, like, there's tons of side quests, the main story. I'm sure this game is going to probably have, like, several major DLCs. So, yeah, there's nothing wrong with watching a walkthrough either. Sometimes I like to do that, too. Here's where I just got thrashed by, like, the Ninja Turtles. Okay. So, yeah. Okay, so one thing I like to do is sometimes I like to play a video game, and I like to watch the story on, like, the TV, and then I play the game myself, and then sometimes I just skip through the story. I make the moral choices that I want to watch. I make the moral choices that I like to make, because that's definitely important to me. And then, like, I just play the game myself, like, farming the XP and, like, doing all this stuff, right? I'm not saying that's what everyone else should do, but, like, there's a lot of fun and satisfaction to that. It also takes a lot of stress off of yourself, too. And some of these games are, like, forever long. And, like, even watching a video for, like, 40 hours is a long time. But, okay. So, overall, though, this is definitely, like, a really solid video game. I at some point I need to buy the game. Okay. So my other problem is if I bought this game, I would just sit down and I'd play this game forever. I'd play this game for like 2 straight weeks or something, right? It's like The Witcher 3 or something, or like some Fallout game. They just like amazing games that just suck all your time into it. It's like a highly addictive and amazing game, right? So that's kind of why I feel like I was initially kind of hesitant to buy it. Because, like, I'm just going to suck all my time into it, right? I'm trying to do more stuff in the real world. And my video game addiction just, like, takes effect, right? It's like an MMO or something. Just you can't stop playing it, right? So, okay, okay, so what are some different Christian messages that I can put on this, like a Christian perspective? So one aspect of, okay, so there's a whole bunch of aspects, right? Probably one of the first aspects is, and honestly, there's just a tremendous amount of Christianity in the world. Okay, so there's like the Catholic Church, there's Christianity, and there's a lot of like deep biblical, and not even just biblical, and there is like literal Bible verses, and they talk about like the church, and there's a lot of like really deep religious and spiritual themes, and there's like there's like different crosses, and they have like literal churches you can go into, and they have like stained glass paintings, and there is a lot of Christian references in the world. Now the world it's like the world's made by like secular people, but like it's just like the foundation, right? Like there's just tons of Christianity. The world just it's filled with like the Christian themes constantly. Sometimes it's more than one might think. Again, as a Christian, I think this is definitely a massive net W. It's like, again, they also like the world's filled with a lot of like dark, morally gray, kind of like evil crap too. Like they swear like a sailor in the world. It's definitely a mature themed game, right? But there is a lot of, and like also like they in holiness, right? Like they use the Lord's name in vain, and there is a lot of like sacrilege and like a lot of like heretical stuff and things. But that's the way life is. So that's how the real world is, and this world's supposed to resemble the real world. It's not a perfect world, but at least it's set within reality in some levels. So that's definitely that's a very big net W. And then like another major theme about this world, again, it's such a realistic society and world, set in like, I don't know, it's like what, like the 1400 to like 1500 years. It's way back further than like, our current society is 2025, like you got like 1400, 1600 time frame. Now, it's a fictional world, but it's supposed to resemble heavily based off of like a realistic world. So there's a lot of reality to it, and I think that's something that I enjoy. And I enjoy the fact that it feels like, again, it's a massive pro and a massive con. Is it feels like a simulation of reality. So I mean, I do like that a lot, right? But sometimes I enjoy fantasy because it's not reality. So sometimes I just like booting up a game and I'm in like an MMO and like I'm gonna go out there with some fantasy character. I'm gonna fight some big dragon with a team of people, and you know, it's like you set up like a dungeon or something, and it's like obviously it's a video game, right? And I enjoy that. And sometimes I enjoy being sucked into a world so much that like I can't even distinguish the difference between reality and like this fictional world, because it's like nearly identical. And like even the way you walk and you move around and like everything about it, it feels so real that like sometimes it's like you can't even like you ask yourself like, no, am I even in a game, right? Like it feels so much like it's real. And I do like that a lot, but you know, it's a little bit like spooky even, right? So yeah, those are definitely, like I would say, like, you know, reality, and there's like the Christian church. Those are two major things about the world. And like, again, so also there is like a time jump skip. So it takes place like, you know, it's like Henry is obviously like a very much like a man in this world. Now he started out kind of like a boy in the first game, but like he looks and talks and acts, you know, very much like an adult. I don't know the exact time jump personally off the top of my head, but it's considerably farther enough ahead that he's like a man, right? And like, you know, the story, it takes place in the idea of like knights and like shining armor and stuff versus like, you know, you got the ladies, and the ladies, they wear like they wear like dresses, and the world's like a more traditional, normal, kind of like conservative society. The way that you would perceive a world like this in like, you know, in like medieval Europe. And it's like sometimes it's just refreshing having a world be like normal instead of like an insane society. Like you look at like even the modern day society, it's like everybody's like nuts. And like in this world, yeah, I mean, sure, people are kind of crazy, but it's like the way the world's supposed to be kind of sometimes. And it's just refreshing sometimes. And then there's stuff like honor, and like, you know, even Henry trying to save that girl, it's like he was being honorable. And like there's a lot of story, like Kingdom Come Deliverance, it has a story of redemption, it has a story of stuff like honor, there's a lot of virtue, and it talks about like good versus evil, and there's also a lot of like vulnerabilities and like being open about, you know, what you think and feel about stuff. And there's a lot of like the role playing stuff. It can sometimes go real deep too. So there are a lot of very good aspects to this game and to this world that I like quite a bit personally, and I know a lot of other people do too. And this game is pretty faithful to the first game. Like they didn't really like. It is basically just an upgraded version of the first game. The first game, in my opinion, is really good, so the next game is just like an even better version, right? Which is not a bad thing. So I would say, you know, there are like the three major qualities, like, you know, deep Christian, like the church, deep Christianity in the world, and there's like, you know, it being set in more reality, and there's stuff like moral virtue. So there's three strong Christian themes in this game world that I would say I would definitely recommend this game. I mean, also, like, you got to be aware that there is a lot of mature themes in it too. There's a lot of violence. There's some like really dark crap that I probably shouldn't even say the names of some of the stuff, you know, that exists. Also, they swear a lot. There's a lot of blood and gore. A lot of like adult, you know, like spicy stuff sometimes. So like, and like a lot of the humor and the jokes they say, lot of crude language and stuff. So like, it has a maturity theme to it. But like, if you're an adult, that stuff is okay. Now, it's not like good for your brain probably to be constantly consuming it, but you know, it's like, it's a mature theme, and if you're a mature person, there's nothing wrong with playing a mature game, right? But I definitely would say you should at least be aware of that. I mean, because you got games like, got games like Cyberpunk, and you got like, you got like Red Dead Redemption, and then you got like, The Witcher, you got Game of Thrones, you got stuff like Kingdom Come Deliverance, you got Fallout. A lot of these worlds, they're very mature. And they, obviously I'm an adult, and I'm sure the vast majority of people on here are adults. I mean, I don't really support minors on my channel, but like, I can't control that stuff. I highly doubt I even have any, but I mean, I know this is more for the adult channel, like people who are mature, but, and there's not, I mean, like, it is what it is, right? So I would definitely recommend the game, but obviously it has mature themes in it. Oh, you also got stuff like Assassin's Creed, right? There's a lot of great mature stuff out there, but you got to be careful with like how much you consume this stuff too. It's not always great for your brain to be consuming massive amounts of like extreme dark crap too. I mean, it's a lot of fun to play these games. I mean, I play a lot of like M games and stuff, right? But sometimes you got to be careful how much you consume. It's just like, it's like, I mean, whether I myself do it fully or not, I'm not trying to be like a hypocrite, right? It's like, sometimes you got to be careful, because you stuff, it's just not always good for you. But it feels good, but it's not always great for you. But I do really like these kind of games. So I'd recommend it, just be careful. If I'm gonna give this game like a number score, now I haven't really finished it. I kind of know how the game works, right? But like, I probably would, to be honest, like, I want to give this maybe like an 8 out of 10. Maybe I'd even give it a 9 out of 10. It's like, it's hard to really always put it like a number grade scale on stuff. But like, I mean, I definitely would put it very high up there. Sometimes, I mean, like, there's criticisms, like, sometimes some of these games, they feel like the story sometimes, maybe it feels like it's just a little bit too long. Like, I'm not saying that I'm one who doesn't want more content, but sometimes it's like a game, like, it feels like it just goes on forever. And as much as I like this fact that some games have a long story, like, I mean, I can understand, like, you want the game to be like 20, 30-hour main story, but like, some of these games have like 100-hour main stories. And it's like, I'm never gonna probably finish this game, or it's gonna take me forever. Which, I mean, there's pros and cons to it, but this is kind of like some of the things that there's so much stuff to do in the game, and it's like almost feels like you're taking like a second job on. So the pros and the cons, right? But I'd still give this game a pretty high rating, right? It doesn't really have like major negatives to it, and there's just a lot of good things to it. Okay, I don't want to make this video too long. Alright, I'm not even sure, to be honest, what kind of audience I really have at this point, but I do want to say, thank you for whoever watches this kind of video. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Try to have some more constructive feedback if you want to give your opinion, right? Let's try to build each other up rather than just tear each other down. But yeah, I know I'm thankful and I'm appreciative of whoever watches these types of videos. I don't know how many more videos I'm gonna make right now. I gotta find some more topics too. I might make another video on like a movie I've watched. I might talk about a couple other pieces of topics. So we'll still see what happens. But or you can also give me your recommendations of what you think I should do. But yeah, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. God is good.